It does not matter how rough the road is. If you are focused and you're reminded of your why, you know the promises you made to yourself, and you get back to being disciplined, I promise there is nothing that will stop you in this world. There is nothing. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so excited for you to join me as we discuss today's topic, and we are speaking on discipline and the tips that will keep us disciplined to achieving our goals, not only in 2025, but this year and beyond. So I found this quote, which gave me the idea to record this video because it was so accurate on how being clear, focused, and being disciplined is the way to achieving your goals. And I just love the quote, and I wanted to share it with you today. And the quote is, "A person with a clear purpose will make progress on even the roughest road. A person with no purpose will make no progress on even the smoothest road." And I love this quote. I just love this quote because no matter the obstacles, if you are focused and disciplined, you will achieve your goals. And if you have no discipline and no focus, it does not matter how easily accessible things are that will lead you to getting where you could go. If you don't have that focus or discipline, it does not matter how smooth the road is. You will not achieve your goals. You will not get to where you desire to go. I love the reminder that even on the roughest road, you will still make progress. And I thought, okay, well, what are some tips that we could discuss today that will make us successful on even the roughest road, or whatever may come in the way that will try to disrupt us or just take us away from our focus and our goals. And in this video, we will be discussing those tips so we could make progress and achieve our goals. So the first tip that I wanted to talk about is having a clear focus. And that is something that the quote I read earlier states, and it says having a clear purpose. One tip that I thought is creating a roadmap so that you know where you're going or what you have to do to achieve your goals. So let's say, for example, your goal is to make $50,000 in sales for the month. So you would get a piece of paper, and at the top you would write 50K per month. And you would write down what you want to do to get you there. So what are the things you have to do to get you there? That's your focus. That's the road to getting $50,000 in a month. So for example, 1.1 would be, I will use social media marketing, and I will start, like implementing social media, contacting influencers or whatever it may be, but social media will be one road to achieving the goal of $50,000 a month. Then you would write the second goal, which could maybe be attending workshops or selling at a farmer's market, maybe, depending what your business could be. You would go beyond online sales and think of a different way to increase your sales. So you would go maybe to a farmer's market, you would go to a workshop, you would go in person and talk to store owners, or go out and find the clients versus having the clients coming to you in your online store. That could be option 2. And then option 3, maybe I will pay a marketing agency to market my products, and they could create the ads and whatever it may be. And just that way, like whatever goal it is, create the roadmap that'll get you to that goal. So the same example, if you desire to lose weight or gain weight, you would put what your goal is and you'd write down what would get you to that goal. So if you want to gain or lose weight, you would add step 1 would be diet. And if you want to gain weight, you would plan out what you want to eat. So you would increase protein or decrease protein depending on what your goal is. And you would add a second point, which would be exercising. And I will exercise 2 times a week or 4 times a week, depending on what your goal is. No, just whatever your goal is, having a clear focus on how you intend to get to your goal is what will keep you focused. And I love calling it a roadmap because it does give the vision of getting on the road to achieving. And you could even track it. Like draw a road and just write, here is goal one, here is goal two, and you could track your achievements, like you achieving certain goals as you get closer to your big goal. And I do like that idea because it also helps you celebrate your milestones. So again, going back to the first example of wanting to make $50,000 in sales for that month, and by the second week of the month you're at 25K, you could put that on the map, on the actual map, and celebrate that because you've achieved a milestone, like you're halfway closer to achieving your goal. And that will motivate you, that will keep you focused. It will just encourage you to keep going, and it will keep your focus on what it is that you want to achieve. Another thing that I want to mention is with that roadmap, place the actual paper, as I said, like when you write it down, place it somewhere where you could see it. Even if it's not a paper, if it's in a book or whatever your method is to keep your goals, put it in a place where you could see it daily. I do believe that if you see it daily, it will remind you of what it is you are doing. It will remind you of your purpose for that day. It puts it right in front of you and you cannot ignore it. You are reminded, even if you're not actively looking at it, subconsciously you are reminded that I have this goal. I need to do this today to achieve it. It will help you stay on track. And I do love this idea because even though things happen in life that will disrupt you or discourage you, you will be reminded. I feel that the roadmap will always remind you of what it is that you're doing and what it is you want to accomplish. And then another point is to have a calendar. I feel that this is very important, and it's the easiest way to track yourself and your habits and what it is that you need to achieve. So you could have the big picture goal, but you should have the smaller goals, and that's what the calendar will help you achieve. It will help you get to the bigger goal. It will keep you accountable because you know what you need to do for that day to get to the bigger goal. In the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about doing something daily that will get you closer to your goal. So do something that will increase your achievements by 1%. The calendar will help you with that because if you know for today, I need to, for example, I need to contact influencers. Going back to the example I gave earlier, I need to, or maybe not even contact, I need to look up influencers. For this week, I'll look up influencers. For the second week, I will begin contacting the ones that I plan to use for my marketing purposes. So just having a calendar will help you stay on track. And I also like the idea of a calendar because it helps you not overwhelm yourself in that you're disorganized or things come up and then things just fall off because you're busy doing something else that came up, or just whatever distractions happen. Life sometimes, and things do fall down the priority list. But if you have the calendar, you know that I still need to do this thing. I have achieved this thing. I can now add more to my calendar. It also helps you stay organized. As things come up, you're able to find a place to fit it in your calendar so that it can, again, not overwhelm you for the day. You know how to plan and arrange things so that things are not missing. You're not missing events that are important to you. You're not so busy that you can't make time for people that are important to you, because even though you may have a goal, you also have to include personal life and just having fun and being there for your friends and family, because that is important too. And having a social life will help you. Sometimes you just need to add fun in your life so that when you get back to achieving your goal and whatever it is, you are back focused. You've had that break that you need, to just take a break. They're healthy and they help you refocus when you get back to it. You're like, okay, I'm 100% in again. One example I could think of was my professor in college. He mentioned how he works his calendar. I didn't understand it at the time, but it makes so much sense now, and I will adopt that strategy as well. So he said he uses a pen and pencil method. So in his calendar, he will write down things that are related to family, his wife and children. Those things are written in his calendar in pen because they cannot be erased. He says his family is first, his wife and children are first, and everything else will work around those dates that his family needs him. And he'll put everything else in pencil, work events, networking events, whatever else may come up. He says those things are in pencil because, yes, they're important, but they're not as important as having your family. And also, they're in pencil because things change and he could keep his calendar just fluid and make things work. And whatever networking event may be more priority than something else. So I don't know if there's a conflict between two events, he could pick which one and he could get on the calendar, erase the one that's in pencil and add the other one in pencil. And I do love that idea because it's a reminder of not neglecting the people in your life that are important because you're so focused on your goals. But it also allows you to be focused on your goals. So it's a really nice method. And I would definitely encourage people to use that. I would definitely use that as well. And I think it's a good way to stay on track to achieving our goals and staying disciplined. And one more point that I wanted to add on the importance of a roadmap and a calendar is that they allow you to focus on the deadlines. Because we've heard the saying, a goal without a deadline is just a dream. And if you have deadlines, you hold yourself accountable and you are able to achieve them. And going back on the calendar, I like dividing the big goal into smaller goals. That way you're able to achieve that. That's the 1% from the James Clear book that I spoke about. Day 1 is your 1%. Day 2 is your 1%. And just like that, and by the end of the month, you've given 100% to achieve the main goal that you have. Another point that I wanted to share on staying disciplined is to track your habits. This point is important because it will allow you to notice where you are using your time wisely or not using it wisely. So I was watching a motivational video and the person stated that the two most precious resources that we have as humans is our time and our energy. And I agree with that. And in the video, he mentioned that millionaires have the same 24 hours in a day that we do. The difference is how they use that 24 hours and how you choose to use your 24 hours. So when you think of that and your goal is to be financially independent, it makes you realize the importance of time. Another motivational video I watched, and the person said it takes the same amount of energy to worry as it does to be productive and take action. So you could use those 24 hours, just planning and not taking action, or you could use those 24 hours worrying and thinking, what if I fail, or whatever it is that's not getting you to your goal. Being distracted by things that are not here to get you to where you're trying to go, giving into things that are not on your plan to help you get to what you're trying to achieve. Or you can use your energy to actually take action on what it is that you're trying to do and take action so you can begin achieving your goals. No matter how small that action may seem, in the end, it adds. And going back to the James Clear example, 1% towards your goal is better than 1% wasted and not used towards your goal. So remember that your time and your energy is the most important resources that we have. It's your decision on how you choose to use your time as well as your energy. Another tip to staying disciplined and focused on your goals is to remind yourself of your why. And I know that it may sound corny, but this is so important, honestly. When you know why you are doing something, it will help you get through the roughest road, the roughest days, and it will help you stay focused because you know what it is that you're trying to achieve. It will reignite that fire when you are reminded of your why. It will bring back that passion of what it is that you're trying to achieve. For me, one thing that has worked that reminds me of my why is having a very clear vision of what I want and where I want to be in my life. And the best way that I have created this vision is by creating a vision board. The pictures that I used on my vision board were intentional. I did not just pick anything because I found it pretty or whatever it is. I was intentional and I asked myself, is this the life you truly want to have? Because you will achieve it if you put it here. It's what you're putting in your brain, it's what you're putting in the universe. If this is not the life that you fully want, don't put it on your vision board. So I asked myself, is this the life that you truly want? And in asking myself, is that what I truly want? I asked myself, why do I want it? Because I had to be honest with myself on why I wanted what I wanted so that I know that I'm doing something I truly desire to do and I'm visioning something I truly want to have in this world. And as I created my vision board, I also wrote down why I want it and I made promises to myself on what I'm going to do to achieve that. When the road gets rough and something happens that makes me feel discouraged or whatever it may be, I go back to my vision board and I'm reminded of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. And I read the promises I made to myself of why I am desiring this thing. And it always gets me focused every time I go back and look at my why, every time I'm reminded of the life I'm desiring, the life I have planned for myself on my vision board. I am reignited. I mean, I would take a break if I need to take a break, but when I look at that, I spend that break reminding myself of what it is that I want and why I wanted it. And that helps me re-strategize. So whatever it is that came to discourage me, whatever thing is happening that is not making my road smooth to achieving the goal, I'm reminded that this thing cannot stop me from what I want because I'm just focused on what it is. And that's why I love the quote that I read earlier. It does not matter how rough the road is. If you are focused and you're reminded of your why, you know the promises you made to yourself, and you get back to being disciplined, I promise there is nothing that will stop you in this world. There is nothing. You will get back to it. You will have new ideas. You will be passionate again, and you're just back. It will keep you disciplined if you're reminded of your why. And the final point that I wanted to speak on being disciplined is that if you are not disciplined, life will discipline you. It's actually better to just try your hardest to be disciplined because when life steps in, you have no choice but to give into life. You cannot fight life when it's trying to discipline you. And with this, the example that I can give is you know that you should be eating better and you shouldn't be eating too much processed foods and, just unhealthy snacking and all of that. Life will discipline you in that your body, your health will fail. You will have health issues and you will have no choice but to be disciplined to eat better, to eat healthier. And it's more painful that way because you don't need to go through that pain of having the health problems when you could just be disciplined and try to have balanced meals. It's okay to eat something unhealthy once in a while, but in adding healthy habits. Another example I can give is if you're not disciplined with your spending. Life will discipline you in that you will end up in debt and you will find yourself having to give up certain things that you desire because you have to pay this debt. And it's just better to stay disciplined and focused because you're better off being in control of the situation as much as you can control it. There's certain things you can't control, but the things that you can control, which are the choices you make, the decision to stay disciplined, the decision to stay focused, it's better that you have that versus having to do it because life is making you do it. And when I think of having to do things that I don't necessarily want to do or have to rearrange my schedule in ways that I don't want to because life is disciplining me because I wasn't disciplined, I chose not to be disciplined, I just don't like living my life that way. And it's just very painful and inconveniencing. It holds you back, it steps you back. And if at some point you're going to have to do the thing you're avoiding, you might as well just stay disciplined and do the thing anyway, because you have to do it at some point. I know the video was speaking about discipline in general areas, in business, in health, in whatever it is in life that it is that you're trying to achieve. But I do hope that the tips I provided are helpful and that they remind you on the importance of being disciplined, having a clear focus, and that no matter how rough the road is, you will succeed if you stay focused and disciplined. So I hope this video was helpful and encouraging to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you again for watching my video. I wanted to say, take a moment to check out my online jewelry store, Pretty Dainty. It is faith-based jewelry that is both elegant and beautiful, and when you wear it, it is a reminder of God's love and His promises for us and His plans for our lives. I will link the website below, and happy shopping with lots of love, Nia.